today's video, I'm gonna go over my very favorite type of agent killers and why they can potentially, believe it or not, actually be good for you, the serious life insurance and or final expense agent. So let's just jump right in, start with a thumbs up, and we do suggest subscribing to our channel if you're a new viewer. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos like every single week. There are two main agent killers, and guys, hang on a second. When I use that term agent killer, what I'm referring to is someone or maybe even something that maybe does something or that happens, and it takes like a struggling insurance agent to the point to where they're done. They're out. And guys, stick around to the end of the video. I'm gonna show you how to get a copy of a remote final expense sales presentation script along with the objections and rebuttals cheat sheet that you're absolutely gonna wanna use during your remote final expense sales presentations. Now, back to the agent killer deal, okay? Now look, hang in there with me, guys. Again, this can be a good thing because it actually thins out the herd. It helps to remove insurance agents from the industry that maybe aren't good. You know, maybe potentially, really, I hate to say it, but have no business being in life insurance and or final expense sales, or pretty much any sales position. To me, the number one agent killer is the prospect who fills out a lead form. Now, they know this is about getting a quote or potentially buying insurance, and then they're just kind of rude to the insurance agent. And let me share with you a couple of personal experiences, like a couple of true examples. Now, let's go back in time years ago when I used to door knock leads. What would happen is a lot of the time I would take the lead right up to the client's front door, you know, knock the lead, and people would kind of act like they don't know what I'm there for, or act like they didn't fill it out. They would flat out say, oh, I didn't do that. I would never fill that out. I'm like, well, you know, it's got your signature on it, so, you know, what's that? Basically, you'd go back and forth with them. This is one of the big agent killers. And I say that because when I first started, I was done. They would get rid of me pretty easily. But then after I did it for a while, I got pretty good at it. And they would try to get rid of me. I'd push through the nonsense. I'd basically, I hate to say without better wording, better verbiage, I'd push my way into their home, and the next thing you know, I'm sitting down making a sales presentation. So in that way, to me, that really, had I been very weak, had I not been hungry for the success, I would have quit. Another good example is for telesales or even appointment setting. It's actually a good example for both. You know, you'd call the lead to set the appointment, or you'd call the lead to sell the insurance, give the quote, make your presentation, and then doing the same thing. They're lying. Oh, I didn't fill that out. Here, I love this. I love this. My kid must have done it. That's actually pretty good though, because if you think about it, you know, if you're good, if you've got talent, if you've got the skill set, you can push your way through that. Oh, great. Well, they must have seen the importance of that. Now you're talking. Unfortunately, even an example like that will get rid of your typical insurance agent. And here's another thing that they'll do. You'll be making your presentation and they'll go, you know, my kids already got this taken care of. I love it. They love to put it on the kids. So to me, at a certain point, they'll even get a little rude about it. You know, at some point, you're kind of, it feels like an argument almost. At that point, it's over. So that is a true agent killer because, I mean, let's think about it. If you're kind of new to the business or you're just not very good, you're not going to deal well with that at all. And guys, I want you to think about it. If you don't have a thick skin and or maybe you're not really okay and comfortable with dealing with rejection, especially one after another, then you probably don't belong in a sales profession. I mean, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but it's usually not about the leads. It's not about the prospects or the clients. It's about you, the agent. Remember, guys, the top 10% of all earners in our country, believe it or not, are sales people. You know, they're in the sales industry, one or another. There's a reason that 95% of the working class Americans do have a regular job that pretty much doesn't require them to have to sell anything. That's because it's a process that takes time to learn. Again, it takes someone with a thick skin, and most people do not do very well with rejection. That's just the facts. My second favorite agent killer is the multi-level marketing insurance agency. Oh, you guys have all heard of them by name and by their like 3 or like 4 letter initials or acronym. And the only one that I'm really comfortable naming, I hate to say it, is NAA. known as the Alliance. Back when I tried working with them, they were called National Agents Alliance, exactly. The thing about them, the reason I'm comfortable talking about them is because a representative direct to their home office misinformed me about the only reason I was willing to work with them. And he did this in order to recruit me. And this was years ago, guys, a long time ago. But then what happened was when I called him out on it and said, hey, that's not what you promised. I was expecting this. You were very clear you could do this. I need a release. They wouldn't do it. He was making excuses. You see, I was already a competent sales profession when I went to this company, to this people. And man, it really put me back what they did. And I hate to say it, but this was one of those cases where I really did feel like a victim. It hurt me financially. The fact that they would not release my life insurance carrier contracts could have easily put me in the position where, I would have had to go work a different job or even leave the industry. Thankfully, it didn't get that bad. And I do believe agencies that don't release agents will do this on purpose because they don't want to create their own competition. Kind of makes sense, right? And don't take this wrong, but I really do get that. As messed up as it is. Not saying that I do it, because we don't. I mean, the last thing that I would want to do is train someone who uses me for training, then leaves my agency with the sole purpose of competing with me. But that doesn't stop me from doing the right thing and releasing agents who are wanting to move on. So why does it stop them from doing the right thing? Just like the rude clients, these people should be thanked for being who they are. Agent killers. Thank you, NAA. If it weren't for my agent killer experiences, I would not be the person that I am today. I would not have had the massive success that I had while I was, selling, while I was a field agent. And I probably wouldn't, be the owner of a multi-million-dollar final expense agency. Yeah, guys, I mean, thank you, Lord, really, for these agent killers. Oh, amazing. They're weeding out the herd and they're spreading the seas wide open for the type of people who can actually figure a way through it and have a lucrative career as an insurance professional and talented salesperson. Guys, if you'd like a copy of both the remote telesales script and the objections and rebuttals cheat sheet that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on our remote sales platform where you can actually get 20 plus appointments per day of people expecting your call about buying the insurance, just shoot me an email at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there and make sure that whatever happens, that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.